Okay, let's start with files. Okay, what is a file? Actually, what you store in a file? Content, you store the data, right? And if you store the data in a file, then that file should be kept into somewhere, and obviously that should be a location in your hard disk or somewhere, or pen drive you can use. So what is a file? A file is actually a collection of data stored in a secondary storage device such as hard disks, right? So learn the definition of file, and in this note only go through this part where I have tick marked. Okay, now then you have to get the idea of a stream. Now, suppose look at this diagram. You are doing a program, you are writing a program, right? And through keyboard, you are giving the input, that is the standard input, stdin. Now, the program will obviously give some output, that is std out, that is standard output, which will be displayed onto the screen. And if there is an error in the program, then it will give you a standard error, right? So, this stdin is the input stream. That means the data which you are giving as a source of input, and this is considered as the output stream. Okay, so this is the constant concept of stream in C. Now what are streams? Stream is a logical interface to the devices that are connected to your computer. Okay, so keyboard, this is a device, and screen is a device, and intermediate you are doing the program. So obviously a stream is a logical interface, that is input stream. The input you are giving, the output which is coming from the program, that is output stream. In this way stream has been classified. This is standard input, output, and standard error, just now I told you, right? So the second thing is you have to you have to get the idea of a buffer. In a YouTube, you see that when you are playing a video, first a red line process, then after the video plays. So what is that red line? It is actually a buffer, right? A buffer is a temporary storage area, buffering of video. So whenever you are writing a program, and suppose you want to create a file, so the program will create a file and also write the data into it. So first the data will be written into a buffer, a temporary storage place. Okay, then this from the data from the buffer will be written into the disk, then only you can view the file. Okay, so what is a buffer? A buffer is a nothing but a block of memory that is used for temporary storage of data. Just now I told you, buffering is a concept to store a data in a temporary place. Okay, so for this file system, buffer is also same, performs the same actions. Okay, so first the program will write the data into the buffer. From buffer the data will be taken back and should be written into the file or in the hard disk, right? Now how many types of files are there? There are two types of file. One is text file and other is binary file. This one is binary file. Text file means it contains character, string, or whatever, you just the normal combination. All of your C program will be coming from text file. And binary files means the combination of 0 and 1, a bytes concept, bit concept there is, right? So there are two types of files. Now coming to the section how to access file or how to write programs for accessing the files in a C program. So first you have to declare a file pointer. Okay, now what is this declaration? You have to write file, F-I-L-E, should be in caps, then give a space, then star, then you have to specify the file pointer name. It can be any name. So suppose I have declared file star FP. Now what is FP? Obviously FP is a file pointer which will point to a structure called file. Its file is basically a structure. Here it is written, you can see it, which is defined in stdio.h. Okay, standard input output. Okay, so file.fp. What is fp? Fp is a file pointer which will point to the structure called file, which resides in the header file stdio.h. Okay, so now you have created a file pointer. Obviously this file pointer will be pointed to the file you want to access, right? So in order to open a file, you have to open a file, and to link it with this fp or file pointer, you have to use the function fopen, that is file open. Okay, now file open, inside this file open function there are two parameters. One, first you have to pass the file name along with this path, and second is the mode of the file. Mode of the file means in which mode you are opening. That means it is for reading, it is for writing, or both, or for appending, in which mode you will open the file. So always remember, first you have to create a file pointer, okay, which will point to the structure called file, which resides under stereo.h. Okay. Then you have to link that pointer with the function fopen. What is fopen? It is file open function. Now in order to open a file, you have to pass two parameters inside it. One is the name of the file and the other is the mode of the file. Mode can be read, write, append or whatever you want to do. Okay. Then file name you can give suppose d colon backslash. It is the folder BCA. Inside the student that file is there. Till now do it with a text file .txt. .txt is the extension of text file, right? Okay, now let's have an idea about the mode of the file. So R means if you specify R within single quote, then you specify the read mode, that is opening a text file for reading. Now since it is used for reading, so obviously the file should exist in your system before reading. If it does not found, it does not able to does not able to find the file, then obviously it will generate error. Second is the W. W is obviously for writing, not for reading. If the file exists, then the content will be written into that file. If the file does not exist, then it will create the file for you. Okay, append means existing, there is a file, there is already some content in it and you are appending some more content into the existing one. Okay. RB, whenever a B is appended, always remember RB means read binary files. B stands for binary. WB means write binary. AB means append to a binary file. Okay. So read binary, obviously you are understanding that opening a binary file for reading, writing a binary file and appending to a binary file, right? Next is R plus. Now what is R plus? It opens the file both for reading and writing. But since you have specified that R plus, so for it tells the compiler that okay, you want to read the file first and then you want to write. First reading, then writing. Obviously, if it is first reading purpose, then the file pointer should point to the beginning of the file, right? If it is not, then obviously you can't able to read. That's why it is said the stream will be positioned at the beginning of the file. R plus means reading and writing both. First read, then write. Pointer should be at the beginning of the file. Simple. W plus means for opening the text file both for reading and writing. If the stream will be created, if does not exist and will be truncated, if exists. Simple. A plus means reading, writing and appending. Three functions, right? And open, this stands for obviously for binary file. Clear? Now see how in a code you have to write the this section. First you have to declare the pointer, that is file star fp. Fp is a pointer name, so you can use any name. Then you have to link this pointer with fopen, that is fp equal to fopen. Then pass the file name along with the path you can pass, or it will, if you don't write the path, then it will check the file for the in the standard directory, that is the default directory tcbin. And this is R means read mode. Now uh, if fp equal to null, fp is a file pointer, so obviously if fp is equal to null, that means it does not able to find the file, right? If it able to find the file, if it is able to find the file name, then obviously it will point to the location of that file or the to address of the file. If the file is not available, then obviously fp will point to null, because nothing is returned back, right, by fopen. So if fp equal to null, then you have to print the file could not be opened or file does not exist or anything. Exit 1 or 0, so it will end the program, right? So first you have to declare the file pointer, then you have to link with fopen. Here you have to pass two part. One is the file name along with the path, or the read, or you can pass only the file name. This is the mode of the file. Then you have to check whether fp equal to null or not. If equal to null, then obviously the file does not exist, then it will exit the program. Simple. Now in this part you are taking name of the file directly, you are mentioning the file directly. You can take the name of the file using user input. How? Just declare a character array, since it is a string, file star fp as it is. Gets file name, obviously you know from the string chapter that gets is used to scan a string directly, or you can use scanf, whatever. Then gets file name, so user will give the file name over here and pass this variable directly to here. So whatever name the user will be giving to this file name variable or the character array, that will be passed directly, and the rest are checking is same. as before. Okay. Now closing a file, if close you have to use at the program, because suppose somebody has created a file named a.txt in read mode. Obviously, in read mode means what? You can read a file but you can't write a file. So in the same program, if you are opening a file in reading mode, then at the end you can't write into the file until and unless you are closing the mode of the file, that is fclose in read mode. You are closing the file, then you have to open the same file in write mode, then only you can write into the file in the same program. Got my point? Suppose somebody has created a file in read mode. Okay, now he has written the file and whatever operation he wants to do, then he has not closed the file, then again he is opening the file in write mode, but it will raise a error that the mode of the file is not closed. Why? Because before writing into a same file in the same program, you have to close the session or close the mode. So first read into a file, then close the file, then open the same file in write mode, then write. You can write into the file and then close it. Right? Okay. This part is done. Now, if you want to, sometimes the scanning is somehow bit odd in case of file, so you can flush the stream. You can use the function flush to flush the stream or the current buffer or the current data stored in the buffer. Only in the case you got a unexpected scan of the input, right? So coming to the section reading data from the files, how to read the data from the files. I will discuss about the four functions, that is fscanf, fgets, fgetc and fread, right? First I am doing with fscan. Obviously you can read data from the file by fscanf. Also you can read the data directly from stdin instead of printf function, and you can also print directly into the screen by fscan. So fscan is basically used for three purposes. One, for reading the data from the stdin, printing through std out, as well as you can use to read data from the files. Okay, so let's see an example over here. See over here, 5 star fp. I am taking a character array for this, taking the name of the file from the user, int role. Okay, they have not taken this name from the file name. File name they have already passed student.dat, and it is opening in read name. This might be storing some name of some student or something like that. Okay, if open, they are closing in read mode. If equal to null, they are checking. If it is null, then obviously the file could not be open or file does not exist and exit one. So if it is not, then obviously it has linked to the properly with the file. Then what they have done, enter the name of the role. This is done by printf. Okay, so this will be coming up on your screen. Then obviously user will give some input. Now see what is the format of fscanf. Fscanf is the function. First you have to pass the stream from which you are actually scanning. Okay, now since you are scanning from stdin, you are writing stdin. When we will be printing the output, it will be changed to std out. When it will be reading from the file, then obviously pass the pointer name, file pointer name over here. So this is the source from which it is actually scanning. Got my point? Okay, just see, if you want to use a printf on the screen, then use instead of a printf, you can write also a printf over here, stdin, and it will be scanned from this part. Okay, so this is fscanf, then is stdin, then they have whatever the user will enter, they have scanned this part. This part you also know, the percentage for string, %d for roll number, ampersand is not used in the case of string, and ampersand roll number. So this part will scan the input from the keyboard. Now they want to print it, so they have directly used printf. Now here you can use a printf function. Okay, not fscanf, it should be fprintf. Okay, then the first parameter will be std out, then the remaining part will be same, only this ampersand will be taken out. Got my point? So if scanf, then pass the source, then write as it is. If you want to you print the output from std out, then you have fprintf, then std out, then same percentage %d name and roll number. Now this is for stdin and std out. Okay. Now for fscanf. Now reading from the file. If you want to scan the input from the file, then obviously the first parameter will be fp, since the fp pointer is pointed to student.dat and you are reading the content from this file. Okay, so I have passed fscanf fp comma then percentage name ampersand roll. So it will scan the name and roll number from fp, or I can say fp points to student.dat, so from student.dat. Okay. Now, if you want to printf, then you can also use scan fprintf, fp percentage name roll number, or you can use simply printf. At the end, you have to close the file. Fclose which file? Student.dat. Student.dat is linked with fp, so I have passed fp over here. And I have taken int main suppose, so I am returning 0. They have not written over here. So simple as that. Clear? So fscanf, I have wrongly told you that fscanf uses three function, actually two function, fscanf from stdin and fscanf from file pointer. And for std out, you have to use fprintf, right? Because since it is the output, so it obviously it will not be done by fscanf. Clear? So this part is done. So output will be like this: enter the name, roll number of the student you are entering, they will be printing, then it will read from the file, and this is the content which is actually written into the file. Okay, and this is the content you are giving through the keyboard, and it is printing on the output screen. Here nef is the fgets, it stands for file get string. It will scan the string directly from the file. So first let's start with an example. File star fp, I have taken an str character array for storing the input directly from the file. fpf open abc.txt, you just take .txt then for now. It will opening read mode, checking fp equal to null. If it is null, then file could not be open. Exit 1. Okay, now not equals to null, it means that fgets is a function, right? So first you have to pass the string name or the variable name in which you want to store the content. So I have used str character array, the name of the character array. So this is the character array in which I will be storing the data from the file. So first parameter is str array, comma, is size is 80. So 80 means it will start from 0 and will end up in 79. So I am passing 80, so it will hold 79 characters, since it will start from 0 and end up in 79, and the size is 80, so one less than the length, right? So and it will be reading from which file? Obviously abc.dat. Over here you can use abc.txt, which is linked to fp, so I have passed fp over here. So this fgets function for the first pass will read 79 characters from the file, right? And obviously it will check not equal to null. Not equal to null means still there is no data in the file. So obviously it will reach for 79 character. This 79 character obviously not equal to null, so obviously it will print the string str. Then again it will read 79 characters, and obviously if it is not equal to null, then obviously this will be getting printed. So in this way, when it will not get any data, right? So obviously this at that time this fgets will return null. So at that times it will nothing will be printed onto the screen. Okay, so this way the file closing, and they have closed the file, right? So fgets is a function in which you have to pass at least three parameters. First parameter is the name of the array or character array in which you want to store the content of the file. Then second parameter is the size of that array, right? Character array. And third is the pointer name or the file pointer name, or the file or the pointer which is linked to the file which you want to read. there can be a lot of file pointer over here. Suppose there are two files there, so there will be two file pointers. So you have to pass the file pointer name of that file which you want to read. Always remember that. Clear? So file is getting now closed. Now get C. Always according to my convenience that I will say that use the f get C. It will scan character by character from file. So let's see a program over here. Don't see this part, this is complicated. For initial purpose, see this one. What I have done, they read a character by character and display onto the screen. Suppose there is an existing file, I have written hello inside that file. Create a text file manually in some drive and try to write. And there is hello is the content of that file. I want to display hello onto the screen. Okay. So what I have done, file star fp. I have taken a character to store each character from the file. Char file name. So what I have done, printf enter the file name, and here they have not used fget, so there is a line missing in this program, that is after this write gets in bracket write the file name. Okay, just in the previous program I have showed you that gets this one gets file name. Okay, so this will do the job. They have missed this part. Scan this part, then pass that variable name directly over here, or you can give the file name directly over here. No need to use file name in this way. So fp equal to f1 file name, I have checked null whether it is correctly assigned to the file name, pointed to the file name or not. Now what I have done, see, I have taken one character variable. Okay, character file name to store that here. F get C. Okay, fp I've stored in a ch variable. Now I'm checking whether ch not equal to eof or not. Eof means end of the file. Okay, so obviously I will scan until and unless it will reach the file pointer reach to the end of the file. So I have checked that whether I have first read the first character of the file, then I have checked whether ch is equivalent to -1 or eof. -1 also represents the end of the file. Always remember that. You can also write -1 over here, right? So if I have scanned one character, I have checked whether that is equivalent to UF or not. If it is not equivalent, then what I have done, I have printed put char ch, right? So it will display the character onto the screen. Then I have scanned for the next input. Obviously I have scanned for next input and I have stored it into ch, and again this will check whether it is end of the file or not. If it is not, then obviously it will print the character and again it will be scanning the next character. So in this way it will be printed. Always remember, I have first by using f get c, I have first taken the first character. I have stored it into ch variable. I am checking that whether ch is equivalent to UF or not. If it is not, then I have used putchar ch. Putchar ch will display the character content for that variable ch, because I have taken the variable ch into integers. So whatever character I am getting, that will be casted into integer and it will store the ASCII value for that character, and that will be checked whether it is equivalent to EOF or -1. If it is not, then it will print the character and then it will scan the next input. Again this will be checked that whether it is UF or not, then again we will do the same operation. Always remember, first you have to scan one input, then you have to check whether it is equivalent to UF or not. So if it is UF not, it will enter the loop. Now obviously if it enters the loop, then obviously it will not get outside the loop until the file ends up, or the file pointer reach to the end of the file, right? So it will print one character, then again it will scan. This will be checked again UF, then again it will be executed. So first you have to scan one input, whether you have to check whether that it is end of the file. If it is end of the file, then while loop will not be executed. If it is not, then it will print the character whatever you have scanned outside the loop, then it will go opt out for the next one. Then again the next one will be checked, again put cat, then in this way. Okay, at the end of the file you have to close the file. So this is F get C. This is what written over here, right? So, and see this part that F get C returns the character read as an integer or return UF to indicate the error or end of the file. Okay, so always return that F get C always returns the character read as an integer. Clear? Now next function is F read. This is also for reading the content of the file. The same, you have taken a file pointer, you have taken a character array named str, you have passed the, they have directly passed over name in this program, checked whether fp equal to null. Now what they have done, they have used the fret function. Okay, fret function, it will take the first the name of the variable or the character array in which you want to store. Here it is str, so I have passed str. Now each size is 11, so 0 to 11 will be the range of the index, and for each portion of the array, the size will be 1 byte, right? So obviously, since it is a character array, so they have passed the size of the size of the each block of the array, right? And it will be of 10, it will be storing 10 objects, obviously 11, so 0 to 11, 0 to 10. So it will be storing 10 objects of size 1 byte, and it will take the content from which file, letter.txt, and letter.txt is connected to fp, so fp is passed over here. So first is the name of the character array in which you want to store. Next is the size of each block, that is 1 byte. Obviously it will be going to store 10 by 10 objects of size 1 byte, and this is the end index, actually means 10 objects will be getting stored. Then you have to pass the file pointer name. Okay, now they always see that this is 11. Okay, so 0 to 11, right? So 11 objects should obviously be stored, right? Now why they have passed over 10 over here? This should be 11, right? They will be storing 11 objects of size 1 byte. Now they have written 10 because they will be using the last index or the last block for storing the end character of the string, that is \0. Clear? This is the size of the max, the size is 11, so the 0 to 11 they have stored, obviously 11 objects can be stored, but they have written 10 objects of size 1 byte. This is correct. Why? But why they have taken 10 bytes? Because they need one object to store the \0 or the end character of the string. Okay, so what does it represents? That it will the fread will read 10 objects of size 1 byte from file pointer fp. Clear? So the display will be coming up first 9 characters of the file are hello, this one, whatever the string, the whatever you will print, that will be printed. Okay, so for same as that previous one, not f guess c but f scan f. Okay, um what is it? This one not f scan, f gets, sorry, f gets. There is the same. First you have to pass the str. Here you have to pass the size directly 8080, right? and then you have to pass the pointer name. In only the difference is here you have, in between this you have to pass two. First is the number of objects and size of each object. That is the main difference. Okay. So this part is done. Now the for writing data into the file. So the first function is fprintf. Previously we have done fscanf. So let's see an example. 5-star can name they have taken float salary. They have taken to store something. They have opened some details.txt in write mode. They have checked whether it is equivalent to null or not. If it is null, then obviously file cannot be opened. Okay. Now what they have, okay, I0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Inside this, what they have done, puts, they have used puts, enter your name, gets name. So they are storing the input into name, and name is a character array. Fine. They have used the flash for flashing the buffer, stdin. Then again they are scanning the input and storing into salary. Now they actually whatever the input is stored in name and salary variable, they will be going to store inside the file, or they want to write into the file. So what they have done, fprintf, this is the inbuilt function. First is the pointer name, the details.txt, it is linked with fp, so fp is passed over here. Then they have used the precision parameters, or you can directly write within double quote %d. Then first is the name, right, and second is the salary. Salary is float, so %f. Then pass the name and salary. They have taken one extra parameter I, that is they want to display the value of I. That's why they have taken the I. So the parameters will be %d for I, %s for name, and %f for salary. Then close the file. Then obviously whatever the input will be giving in each pass of in each iteration, that data will be directly written into the file. So if printf is the inbuilt function, first pass the file pointer name, or in other way the file from which the file in which you want to write. Okay. So fp, then percent whatever parameters you name, then put them accordingly. Okay. Now second is fputs. You can also use this one. What they have done, they have taken a feedback name character array. Comments.txt is their file name. They are opening in write mode. Obviously this will be in write mode. You want to read, and this is also in write mode. So they have taken fp equal to null, and this is same as the previous one. Then they have written provide feedback on this book. So obviously user will give some input. So gets is the inbuilt function for scanning, gets feedback. So the input will be storing directly into the feedback variable. Then they have passed, they have used flush stdin to flush the buffer, and then they have passed feedback directly, that is fputs. Then they have passed the character array name, that is feedback, comma, they have passed the fp. Fp means fp is linked with comments.txt, and this user input will be written directly into the file. So feedback, comma, fp. This is somehow easy in remembering the syntax in comparison to the other. So you can also use this one, and they have at last to close the file pointer. Okay. F put C, this is same as F get C, and how, let's see, file pointer, they have taken again a feedback comment, they have opened the file, checked whether it is equivalent to null or not, provide feedback. They have used F get C feedback, gets feedback, so it will directly scan the input and store it into feedback. Now this is a character array, so, and you are using F put C, so you have to scan each character from this character from this feedback character array. So they have executed a loop I0, I less than feedback of I plus plus, and for each plus they are printing feedback in brackets I. So for it will print the feedback 0 means the first character of the first character of the string, and it will be written into FP. So the difference between F puts and F put C is, here feedback is you can directly pass the character over here, right? But in fputc you have to scan each character from this feedback character array, and you have to print it into the file. Simple as that of array concept. Okay. Fwrite also you can use. Let's see an example. They have opened in read. They are writing a binary file fp equal to null and f write. Okay, and f write, and they have passed the str in which the variable which they want to write. This is the string actually. Good morning. They want to write directly into the file. They have not scanned the user input. So inside fwrite they have passed the variable name or the character array name, the content of which they want to write into the file. Obviously the size is 1 byte since this is an character array, and then they have passed the length of the string, that is the total length of the string, and they have passed the file pointer in which file pointer or the file in which they want to write. So first is the variable name or the character array name in which the content is stored which you want to write into the file. Then pass the size, that is 1 byte, and str length is the length of the string, and fp is the pointer name. Okay, so this is the meaning, and writing into the file, and they will actually return the uh, count, that how many characters have been written into the file. So they have printed it and data, and their 13 bytes are written. Means actually they revert back the count or the number of bytes they have written into the file. Now detecting the end of the file, I have told you UF means end of the file. It is also equivalent to -1, right? This is another way of printing, reading from the file. What they have done, while one means they have gone into infinite loop. Inside that they have used fgetC fp. That means it will fetch each character from the file and store it into C. C is a C. Okay, C is an int variable. Obviously, I have told you that the character will be read in the form of the integer, and they have checked if C is equivalent to equal to UF. That means it has reached to the end of the file, that is the content there is no content after that, so obviously it will break means it will be coming outside the loop. If it is not, then obviously that character will be printed, and since while one is an infinite loop, this will keep on continue until and unless C equal to UF is reached. If it is reached, then obviously it will be coming out from the while loop. Okay, this is also coming in your objective, that UF -1, which character or which value represents the end of the file. So remember that this is command line argument. Before that, see one or more programs. See this one, write a program to read a file character by character, just like the previous one. Enter the file name, they have scanned the file name from the user, checked null, ch equal to fgetC, ch should be in integer, okay. While ch not equal to f, what they have done, they have put catch c, that means it is printed onto the screen, and they're scanning from the file the next character in the form of the integer. Then ch will be again checked whether it is equivalent to uf or not. If it is not, the same operation will be repeated. Now I have given you a program to count the number of characters or number of lines in a file. This is simple. Characters are number of lines. So let's get fgetC. I have taken 3 counter variables, one for the counting the characters, one for line. So file name, uh, enter the file name, fopen file name, fp equal to null, this one is common. Now I have taken one character from the file, change it, and will be read as an integer stored into ch, while ch not equal to f. If this ch equal to backslash n means new line, right? So if it is new line, then obviously the counter will be getting increased, and obviously this loop will be executed. The number of times this loop will be executed is equivalent to the number of characters in the string. So obviously number of character plus the count will be getting increased, and the next character will be read in the form of integer. Again, this will be checked in this way. Clear? Now, if the number of characters are 0, depending on the condition or whatever they are saying in the question, print it, right? This is also a good program. See this program whether these two files are identical or not. Means whether their content are same or not. Suppose in one file it is written hello, one file it is written hello hi, then they are not identical. If hello is written into this file, hello is written into this file, the content are same, then they will be considered as identical. So obviously there will be two files will be getting involved. So I have taken two file pointer, right? Okay. Enter the first file of the name. They have taken the file name from the user. You can take it directly. So they have checked whether it equivalent to null or not. You can obviously write over here that first link fopen with the fp1 part in the previous part. Then you can write if fp1 equal to null, this one. If fp2 equal to null, then this one. Okay. So what I have to do now, I have to take one character from the first file, one character from the second file. These two statement represent. Then what I have done, while ch1 not equal to eof, that means the first file will not reach to the end of the file, and ch2 not equal to eof means the length of the string should be equal if the contents are getting equal. So obviously I have to use those until and unless the first character will reach to the end of the string, or the second, or the character from the second file will not reach to the end of the file, and ch1 equal to ch2, the both the characters should match. Only then the next character will be getting scanned. Got my point? I have taken one character from the first file. That's why fp1 is mentioned linking with the first file. I have read one character from the second file, that is fp2, ch1 and ch2. Now I have what I have to check. Inside while I have to check whether ch1 not equal to ef and then ch2 not equal to ef, and both the characters are same. Only then they will read the second character. If it is not, then obviously there is no need to continue with the character scanning. Then what I have written outside this loop, if ch1 equal to ch2, files are identical, else not. I have closed the file and then I have gives guess ch and return 0. Understand my logic? I have scanned one character from the first file, I have scanned one character from the second file. Then obviously I will keep on scanning the next part only when ch1 not equal to ef and ch2 not equal to ef. That means the first character is not equivalent to the end of the file, the second character not equivalent to the character file, and both of them are equal. If it is not equal, then why should I keep on scanning the input? Got my point? So if these three conditions if get satisfied, then only I proceed for the next scanning. If it is not, then obviously outside this loop ch1 and ch2 are not equal, right? So I have checked if ch1 equal to ch2, files are identical, else not. Clear? This else part will be written here, not inside this. This is one mistake they have done, right? And ultimately you have to close. There is another file, copy one file. Just see this part. I hope that you will understand. There is nothing in it. Got my point? So now I am coming back to the command line arguments. Now if the examiner says that you have to do with file programming with command line argument, then you have to do with a command line argument. Now obviously you know that a command line argument is nothing but you have to pass on the input parameters through command line or DOS. Okay. So here whatever you have to, the main function has two components. One is int argc. There will be no gap over here. Argc variable, there is no space within a variable name. So int space argc comma cat star argv. Now argc is an integer variable, you can see that is argument. Okay, and this is argument number of argument. RGC specify the number of arguments, so obviously it's a number, so I'm using an integer variable. And if there is 3 arguments, then I have to pass 3 names over here. So what is cat star argv? It is nothing but an array of character pointer, okay, where RGB contains the list of the argument. It is a character pointer. Okay. Now I have told you that main will be having two parameters. One is argc and argv. That is a number of arguments and argument values. Okay, this is a integer variable and this is a array of character pointers. Now how to implement this one? See this part, what I have done, int main int argc cat star argv. I am writing a program. This specify the number of arguments and this is specify the pointer of character arrays. Now how to implement this one? Suppose I have taken int I, number of arguments passed argc. So this input, the number of arguments and their corresponding names should be passed from the DOS command line. Okay. So I am showing you the command line. See, in order to run this program, what I have to type tc turbo c space clpro.c. clpro.c is actually the name of this file, means in which I have written this part. Okay, I have to run this one, so I have written tc turbo c space clpro.c. That means this is the name of the file, that is in which I have written this part. Then in this programming I am passing two other parameters, that is rima space thareja. Okay, so obviously this clpro.c rima thareja, then how many number of arguments are I am passing? Obviously 3 part. Okay, 3 names are passing, so the argc value will be 3, and argv0, this is a what, pointer of characters array, so the argv0 will hold rima, and argc0 will hold clpro.c, argc1 will hold rima, and argv2 will hold thareja. Got my point? So argc specify the number of arguments including the name of the file in which you are running. Okay, now I am passing what, you can pass file name over here. So clpro.c rima thareja, these are 3 arguments I am passing, so argc will be value 3, argv0 will be holding the file name in which the program is written, and argv1 will store the rima, and argv2 will store the thareja part. Clear? So main will accept this input from the command line. Clear? So inside this, if I have printed argc, then what will be its value for this input, that is 3. And if I want to print its corresponding name, so what I will do, I will take a loop I0, I should be less than number of argument, and I plus plus. argc0, argv I. So argv0 will print clpro.c, argv1 when I will be incremented to 1, then it will print rima, and 2 for thareja. Clear? Now, how to do a file program with this part? Okay. Now see. I am showing first a simple program. What I have done, write a program to merge 2 files into a third file. That means there are already 2 files existed in which there is a lot of content. You have to merge this content into a newly created third file, right? So obviously, how many files are needed in this program? Two will be served as an input and 1 for output. So obviously 3 file I will be needing, and 1 is the name of the file inside which I am writing this program. So here, if I want to do this program with command line argument, then how many arguments should be there? 4. 1 is the name of the file in which I am writing the program, and 3 for this one, 2 for the input and 1 for the output. So the argc value will be 4, and I will be needing 4 file names, right? So what I have done, I am writing the entire program into int main. Clear? Now what I have done, argc, argv, they are same. 5 star fp, fp2 and fp3. I am using 3 parts, 2 for input, first one, and fp3 for writing the output. They have taken a character variable clsr. Now you have to match the number of arguments. So in the command line there is 1 extra file name, that is the name of the file in which the program should run. So obviously 3 and 1 4. If argc not equal to 4, then full information not provided, return 0, right? The program will be terminated. If it is not, then the program will proceed. Now for our programming purpose, I will start from argv1, which will be the name of the first file name, which will be allocated to fp1, argv2, which will the name of which will be allocated to fp2, and argv3 that will be allocated to fp3, right? So see here, fp1 equal to fopen. Here you previously are passing the file name. Now that file name is stored in argv1. That's why I have passed argv1 over here. Remaining syntax is same, read mode. If it is null, then file. argv2, that will be also written in read mode. If it is not, then exit. argv3, this will be opened in write mode. argv null, then it is equal to 0. Okay. So I have to merge two files. So what I have done, I have uses fscanf and fprintf. So fscanf fp1 first file, it will read one character ampersand ch. Now fprintf, the character which I scanned using this part, that ch I am writing directly into fp3 by fprintf. First it will scan one character, I am writing one character, then again it will scan, then again writing. And how much it will go on reading and writing until it reaches to end of the file. So here I am using FEOF, means end of the file. It is a inbuilt function you can write. Okay, while FEOF, inside bracket I am writing FP1. That means uh, it will keep on scanning and printing until it reaches to end of the file. Instead of FEOF function, you can also write while FP1, right? While ch, you are reading one you can write, you can scan one input from the file and store it into ch as an integer, and check that character whether ch not equal to -1 or UF. Use that fprintf, then use scanf. You can also use that part, or you can write FEOF inside bracket fp1. Okay, this is an inbuilt function. And why I'm using FP1? Because I am storing the entire input from FP1 to FP3. That's why I have check that whether FP1 reach to the end of the file or not. Okay. Similarly, for FP2, you can write. Then you have to close the file. Uh, Clear, and mask file, and then closing the file. So only part is that you have to give these two part, argc and argv. Then you have to check the number of argument, add one plus one to the actual number of the file names, because one file name with the name in which you are actually writing the program, that will be extra. And instead of file name, just pass the array index, means argv1, argv2, argv3. This is the only difference, and the rest is simple as that. You can change the logic over this part. Okay, how? I am telling you once again. First, reach one character ch equal to f get c fp1. Check whether ch should be in integer. While ch not equal to UF, then use this part f printf fp3 percent ch. After this line, you can write ch equal to f get c fp1. This part of the logic actually tells you to copy the entire file belonging to fp1 into fp3. Okay, this one is for copying the second file, right? So this part is done. I hope that you can understand this part. F gets C, F gets C command line, and see the tick mark files whether you are understanding or not. Okay, you can ask me anytime if you are facing any difficulty. I hope that there will be no difficulty. Okay, and I would like to mention one extra function, that is rewind function, rewind, first bracket open close. Suppose you have reached to the end of the file. Okay, uh, after reading properly. So again, if you want to read that file, obviously the file is at the end of the file. So you have to reset the pointer back to the beginning if you want to read that file again. So if you write rewind inside bracket, if you are writing fp, then it will reset the pointer fp to the beginning of the file, and then you can again begin your reading from the very beginning. Okay, so go through this part. If you have any doubt or anything to ask, please ask me. I hope there will be no problem. Go through this note. Okay, thank you for watching.